Welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is called Steel. We are still here in Trista at the train station, but not for much longer because we're about to buy our tickets and take the long journey all the way to the north. So let's start doing that. Good morning Class 7. I hear Group A is heading all the way out to the North Highlands this month. You heard right. Well, we need to change trains twice. First in Heimdall and then in Roar, right? Correct. From Roar you'll need to transfer to a freight line with the last legs of your journey. Regrettably, you can't end on that part of your trip here. Actually, it seems arrangements have already been made for that segment. We should only need to buy tickets for as far as Roar. Ah, that won't be a problem then. Do you want them right now? Yes, let's buy the tickets. Certainly, okay. That's 5 passengers bound for Roar. I'll have those tickets for you in just a moment. There we go. So basically, will we be talking with the entire class until we get to Heimdall? Or we already start to sit separately in a train for this? Passenger service bound for Heimdall, now arriving on platform 2. We ask that all passengers wishing to board please wait on the platform until the train has come to a complete stop. I'd say we timed that pretty well. Impeccably timing. True. It seems there's a 2-woman cold front blowing your way. Well, don't worry about us. We'll see what we can do to thaw them out. Yeah, just don't expect them to be weaving each other flower crowns when we get back, okay? Alright, we'll leave them to you then. Good luck. Alright, let's get on the train. There we are. Yeah, so they are all on the same train, but we already made ourselves into separate groups. Wow, these sandwiches really hit the spot. Ham, lettuce and cheese. Ah, I'm getting a hint of pickle in there too. The ingredients are simple enough, but the way they come together is something special. Even the butter tastes different from what I'm used to. And this tea is actually perfect. The zest of the lemon complements the taste perfectly. You have quite the maid looking after you. Well, Mother hired her, not me. She's a talented maid though, I won't deny that. She handles the typical housework and greetings of guests, as you expect, but she also manages Mother's schedule. Wow. Managing the company chairman's schedule doesn't really sound like part of a typical maid's job description. Well, she really is that talented though. Which is why I can't work out why my mother would send her to look after me. Those two are up to something, I just know it. Regardless, there are definitely perks to having her around. I think you should accept your mother's kindness. I agree, she must have started working before sunrise to prepare all of this for us. I know. Anyway, look at those two. So, we're headed to Brionia Island this time. All I know about it is that it hosts some sort of ancient ruins. I'm not certain what to expect. Come to think of it, this should be the first time I've had a chance to see the ocean. What about you two? Now that you mention it, I've never seen it either. I have. Oh really? During a landing operation in the core. Oh, speaking of ruins, Legram has some very well-known ruins, doesn't it, Laura? Oh yeah, the Saint's Castle or something like that. Ah, you must be referring to Lohengrin Castle. It is a magnificent stronghold that faces out onto the lake. You can see it from the town itself. It's quite beautiful on days when the mist clears. Oh wow. It sounds like a sight worth seeing. Seems like you'd be in trouble if a skilled sniper sets himself up there. Doesn't sound like they're getting along very well. I feared as much. I doubt Fee is doing it on purpose. Well, Laura seems uncharacteristically offended by it too. Yeah, she's usually so composed, but something about Fee seems to get under her skin. But Rean did promise to leave it in Makia's hands, at least for now. If they can't solve it, maybe in the next field trip we can handle it out. And all I'm thinking, I see a road next to the train tracks going, and I think, I could have gone on the orbital bike too, and it would be much more interesting. I wonder if you're gonna see someone special here, or it's just two groups parting ways. It never ceases to amaze me just how big Heimdall Station is. I heard it said that it's not merely the largest station in Erebonia, but on the entire continent. I'm unaware of other stations that can match the 10 tracks found here. When I first transferred lines here on the way to Tristra, the amount of people I saw really threw me for a loop. But it's not surprising that there aren't as many folks around this early in the morning. Oh, sorry. I don't think we're going to be able to do this. Hang on, you can't give up already? How hopeless. Well, don't worry about it too much. The most important thing is that we all come back safe and sound. Everything else is secondary. Well, I suppose you're right. Well, we try and keep things from getting too dangerous at least. Anyway. This is where we split up. Well, if you're traveling towards Ordis, you'll be heading west, right? Indeed. Meanwhile, Group A will need to travel northeast to Roar first. Oh, I'm so jealous you get to visit Gaius' homeland. You better tell us all about it when you get back. Will do. Take care, everyone. Fee, Laura, you both take care too. Well, see you all next week. Quite. So, do they mean next week as after the weekend? Or are we gonna stay the entire week there? Ooh, who's that? She seemed familiar. Doesn't she look like the girl in the picture of Rean? Is this her sister? Or am I just projecting things here?
Is something on your mind, Elise?
It is! Oh, I thought she was familiar. So close, yet so far.
Has some rugged, handsome young man caught your eye?
Well, technically.
Like your brother, perhaps?
Ooh. She's good. She's very good.
Please, Your Highness.
And royalty, too.
I just thought I saw someone I recognized. But it couldn't possibly have been him. I can't imagine what would bring him to the capital this early in the morning.
Someone you recognized? I wonder... But I knew you wouldn't deny it. That your brother is handsome, I mean.
Please. I knew that I shouldn't have told you about him.
Little bit of brother love here.
Oh, come now, I'm only teasing. There's no need to sulk. I'll give you a little something from Mariage Cross to make up for it.
But that's an adult lingerie brand.
So that's a great gift, in all honesty. Because those things can be very expensive. So I've heard.
Please excuse us, Captain Claire.
I'm sorry. I hope I haven't sullied your ears with our scandalous conversation.
I like that girl. Don't know why, but she's giving me Olivier vibes. Like the female version of it.
Not at all, Your Highness. I came to inform you that the special train to the Imperial Villa will be arriving shortly. I look forward to accompanying you today.
It'll be a pleasure to have you with us.
Certainly.
That was a really nice little segment. No more roads, just the train. And it does look like a very different train, doesn't it? I think the other one was more like teal. Alright, let me tell you a bit more about the North Highlands. The North Highlands are a mountainous region to the northeast of Erebonia. To get there, we'll need to cross the Isengard Range. Oh, that's the mountain range to the north of Roar. I'm guessing we'll need to pass through quite a few tunnels to get to the other side. Pretty much. I went through several when I was originally traveling to Tristan. Anyway, when you reach the other side, you'll be in the Northern Highlands, surrounded by, on every side by mountains. Other than the Imperial Army bases, the only place you'll find people is in nomadic settlements, like the one I'm from. If anything, we have more sheep than people. Wow, really? I'm starting to feel like we're traveling to a country locked in time or something. It sounds like a scene right out of a picture book. Yeah, and look how potentially awesome it's gonna look. Right on a gigantic field, and I've heard in the comments that it's extremely big. So I can't wait. In addition to the scenery, the North Highlands are also well known for their breeding and raising of horses. Most of the war horses used by the Imperial Army are descended from the Highland stock. That is true. Horses are essential to the livelihoods of the folks in my village. Raising horses to be used by the Erebonians is one of my people's primary source of income. Hey, come to think of it, I seem to remember hearing that the horse we have at home was raised in the north as well. Isn't that also true of the horses the riding club uses? Correct. All of them originally came from the north. Even the golden stallion on the Empire's emblem is said to be depict a warhorse raised in the Highlands. Or so the story goes, at least. North has a deep historical ties to the Empire. We know today that it's where Emperor Drykel first started building his army after all. That's right. The Imperial Army still maintains a base on the southern edge of the Highlands, Zender Gate. That is as far north as a train can take us. Ah, I see. We should arrive there somewhere around 4 in the afternoon then? Yeah, but it's just past 8 AM now. We should reach Roar Station by midday. After that, we have another 4 hours or so on the freight train to the north. Looks like we're in for the long haul. Still, we won't get chances like this often, so let's try and make the most of it. And we should have more of those sandwiches, right? Alright, let's talk to everyone before we do the risky playing of Blade. Before that, we will probably save the game just in case. Oh, not too much longer now. I guess this is your first time back home since you started at Thors, right? Does it feel a little awkward going back after you ran away from home? A little, yeah. At least we're only changing trains there, so I don't have to leave the station. I haven't been in Roar since I switched lines there on the way to Tristan. Alright, I almost forgot. You came from Ymir. You had to have gone through Roar. I visited Ymir once when I was a kid, but I haven't been there since. I remember it being a really nice place though. The scenery was so beautiful. Oh, I didn't know you'd actually been. Yeah, it's really beautiful. A place like that nice doesn't really fit a guy like me. Are you still sulking over that twit set during our last practical exam? They the House of High Arms little mind, and they're full of a third son even less. I don't think he meant most of those awful things he said. Yeah, it seemed like his anger just got the better of him. I'll bet he regretted it later. And regardless of what he thinks, we all think you're a swell guy, as a classmate and as a friend. So don't be so hard on yourself. Hi. Oh, thanks guys. It means a lot to hear you say that. You're so hopeless sometimes, Rean. It's easy to forget, but in traveling to the North Highlands, we'll actually be leaving the country. It feels strange heading out beyond our borders. A little emotional even. Yeah, we've got a long journey ahead of us. I can only wonder what kind of things they'll have us doing when we get there. Delivering packages all over the Highlands. I would imagine something like that. Oh, I can't even begin to imagine. Each month seems to throw something new at us. I am a little worried about Fee holding up though. Yeah, there's definitely something going on between her and Laura. I'm not sure if there's anything we can do about that. I'm sure Elliot and Macias will keep an eye on those two for us. We've got our own battles to face. I'd like us all to come back from this trip in one piece. Oh, you're right, of course. Anyway, let's get in and out of Roar Station as quickly as we can. We need to find that freight train we're taking the rest of the way to north as soon as we get there. Oh, what is it that makes Fee and Laura regard each other so coldly? I just hope maybe they'll find something during their field study that helps patch things up between them. And if not, we'll deal with it in the field study after that. If they get handed to us in the same group composition. Ah yes, the horses of the North Highlands are known for being some of the finest on the continent. Which their solid builds, high endurance and steadfast loyalty to their masters, they truly are the ideal steeds. The Highlands are far from only place that raises horses, but the horses from the north are in a class all of their own. Sounds like you couldn't find a better horse if you search across the Empire. Though, now I can see why Arthur's such an impressive specimen. Who? Oh yeah, Arthur's is the horse we have back at home. My dad would often ride him out hunting with our old dog, Badeau. When I was a kid, he'd lift me up on his back and let me ride around. Ah, I see. Well, this will be an excellent opportunity to learn more about how the Empire's finest horses are raised right at its source. Wow, he really seems into this. Which is not surprising, cause he really likes horses. We've seen that through multiple scenes, so yeah. This is actually the best field study he could get. Because going to the island would just be a random thing. Here, you actually get to see where his horses came from. Ever since the Orbital Revolution, the Imperial Army has become more and more reliant on machines. But even in spite of that, the horses of the North are still highly prized across the whole of the Empire. The Highlands may not be within Erebonia's borders, but the intertwining of our histories goes back centuries. Well, there's a sight for sore eyes. I've been soaked in the scenery like this since I first came to Trista. I hope everyone in the settlement is doing well. He seems happy to be heading home. I've always been curious. How did you end up coming to Thors anyway? Well, about a year ago, I met a general of the Imperial Army up in the north. One thing led to another, and he ended up giving me a recommendation to attend the academy. He was strangely adamant that my skill with a spear would come in handy during my time in Thors. I guess he was right. Well, I can see why an Imperial general might take interest in your spearmanship. Our cavalry's lance and spear training has its origins not just in the tales of the Eisenritter, but in the traditions of the Highlands as well. Oh yeah, that's pretty interesting. It's just recently that I've been learning how far back the connection between North and Erebonia goes. Indeed. I'm truly grateful to the guidance of the winds for allowing me to receive that recommendation when I did. After all, if I hadn't, I might have never met all of you, and my life would have been lesser for it. And these kinds of things he says is what makes Gaius such an awesome character. So cool, so friendly. But yeah, let's have a quick save in preparation for Blamed, because I have had it game crash on it and I don't want to do it again. So let's try. And Alyssa was the one back then that triggered it, so let's start with Gaius.
Shall we begin?
Let's shall. And like I said, as always, the goal is not to win, but just to play.
It seems we need to draw again. You should go first then.
Alright. Mm-hmm. Yeah, need to wait till it gets
Use a
higher.
bolt.
Up.
I hate to do this, but
You say you hate to do this? I doubt that's the case. 19. Oh, 4. I had to destroy the 6. It would have been better.
well done.
Oh, come on.
It seems the winds were on my side.
Yeah, he definitely had to higher cars than me. Oh well. I want that 50 points. The rest is just extra.
If we have to.
Don't smile when you say that, Juices. Cause you say, if I have to. But
Draw a card.
I'm pretty sure you like it.
We have the
having a
same
fight.
score. Let's redraw. Go ahead then. What an impertinent little... How about this?
No, it's mine.
What an impertinent little... We have the same score. Let's redraw. I'll be going first.
Alright. Alright, 4. Just 2?
Now you've done it. Now you've done it.
Then 6.
We have the same score. Let's redraw.
And then the one who has the highest will now win?
I'll be going first. At least it wasn't a complete waste of time.
That's a really strange way to win a game. The one who's the luck of the draw. Alright, Emma.
Please go easy on me.
Never. Just as long as you don't use your magic, then I will be fine. Again,
Shall we
so
draw then?
many low cards, not even 1/7.
Oh, it looks as though the first move is yours.
Is it?
Oh no, this could be trouble. I'm gonna use a bolt card. I'm gonna use a bolt card.
Alright, that was a lot of things at the beginning.
Ah, we have the same score. Let's draw again. Allow me to play first then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, this could be trouble.
Yeah, I need to use it now before
Oh
the
no,
last
this could be
card.
trouble. Oh no, you beat me.
Yay! Alright, 1 loss, 2 wins. Can we keep it on my side?
Let's get started.
Yes, we passed you, Alyssa, so it's all good.
Go on, draw a card. After you, then. What? You can't do that.
I just did.
Bolt. Bolt.
Fine.
Oh, same score? We better draw again. After you, then. Oh, same score? We better draw again.
Okay.
After you, then.
No! Ooh.
Oh, same score? We better draw
Why
again.
are you aiming for that? That's not really.
After you, then. What? You can't do that. Oh, same score? We better draw again. Looks like I'm going first. Oh, now you've done it.
Resurrecting, destroying.
Now you've done it.
And what do you have left?
Oh, same score? We better draw again. One more game.
No, not one more game. Only one time for the points, Alyssa. Alright, I guess that's it. We talked to everybody twice, played the Blade game. I think we're ready to move on to Roar. I do wonder if we are in the next train from Roar all the way to the north. Will we get another section like this as well? I'm hoping. But it means extra points. 1150. The Ministry of Railways wishes to thank all passengers for their patronage. This special express line is bound for Roar. Our next stop is Roar, the terminus of this express line. Please ensure you all have your belongings with you when you disembark the train. Here we are. This is my first visit to the Empire's industrial metropolis. Actually, it's my first time too. Well, I passed through when I first came to this academy, but even then, I could see why people associated with industry. It feels like the whole city is one big mass of iron. Yeah, it really does have that vibe. What are those cone-shaped towers out in the distance anyway? Oh, those are orbital generators for the industrial plants. There are tons of large factories in the city, so they need those to create all the orbital energy needed to power them. Wow, really? Well, if I weren't seeing it for myself, I'd be hard-pressed to imagine a city like this. Big old stone entrances with big metal structures in the end. Really interesting combination. Like a bit of old school meets new school, if you know what I mean? Well, we finally made it as far as Roar. We'll need to transfer to that freight line to reach the North Highlands from here, right? Right. There'll be a freight train leaving from platform 4 we need to board. Platform 4 is up the staircase and to the left, I think. Alright, let's not waste any time then. Ooh, we get to actually walk in the station. Cool. Hey, Annabelle! I can hardly believe I've made it all the way to Roar. I never imagined that he would be such a dogged pursuer. Oh, of course, he's talking about the butler trying to find her, isn't it? And if you can remember, we found her in Celtic when she lost her purse, and we found it back for her. I see, the train to Heimdall has finally arrived. I missed the train I was originally hoping to board, but I'm holding out hope that I won't miss my business meeting. Is there any see where we need to actually be? Alright, so we need to go to the other platform. Yeah, let's make sure we at least talk to everyone. It seemed like we can go up on either sides. Ah yes, it begins at 3 o'clock. Would you like to check in at the hotel first? What time was the conference again? Oh right, I'm heading off. Okay, don't forget to write. Or to maintain proper hygiene. And make sure you eat the balanced diet. I know, I can look after myself, sis. You better promise to come back home on the very next vacation you get. I promise. Very close siblings? He's always so excitable. But I do wish he had the volume control knob sometimes. Whoa, look at all those trains. This is the coolest. Alright, let's hope we don't get a scene, because I want to check everywhere. Okay, with no people here. Can we see it on the other side? No people there too. So we just have to look. Well, not look. Also talk to the people on the other side of where we are waiting. Oh, we're here to visit a friend. Dad does this every time we get off the train. I suppose he's getting up there in the years though. We're finally here. That 4-hour journey from Heimdall never plays nice with my back. Well, that happens when you get older. Oh, my apologies, but we're currently cleaning this area. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. Alright, then I can guarantee there will be a scene when we're up there, because they are guiding us there. Maybe Sharon will be here meeting with us, which would be a very interesting thing to find here. That means that not only did she manage our breakfast, lunch, and then managed to travel all the way here, passing us and meeting us here. It would probably not happen, but I would find it very funny if it did. Come to think of it, it's already past noon. Perhaps we should purchase some lunches for the rest of our journey. Sounds like a plan. Well, we still have another 4 hours to go. We're going to need to eat something between now and dinner. Well, it seems highly unlikely a freight train would be equipped with the vending machines or such other comforts either. Well, we need to go through the ticket gate then. There's a shop in the main part of the station that sells pre-packaged lunches.
Oh, there won't be any need for that.
She actually did? She actually made it all the way here. I was only guessing. This was not that I knew about it. This just seemed very on point for Sharon.
What?
No way.
Sharon? How did you get here before us? The power of my love for you allows me to do the impossible, my lady.
I think she had a separate ride. Probably not the orbital bike, but who knows? Maybe with the airship that got here faster or something, I don't know. But like I said, this is so on point from what we've known from Sharon now. Like, very dutiful maid, but with a little flair of something extra. And this lies really in what I have in mind when she does like the extra work for her mother.
And as you'll see, I've prepared packed lunches for all of you that far surpass this morning's offerings. I do hope you'll enjoy them.
Thanks.
Received a special packed lunch for each member of the group.
We really appreciate you going to all the trouble to make these for us.
True. That said, I'm really curious how you got here before us.
I'm betting airship.
It seems that the Reinford family's maid enjoys a little amusement at the expense of her employer. I imagine you transferred to an airship in the capital?
Ah.
Of course, why didn't I think of that? You can cut the time from Heimdall to Ruhr in half if you travel by airship, I think.
You got me. I took advantage of the opportunity to borrow the airship's kitchen so I could make your lunches as well. They're quite fresh, so take a moment to savor the taste.
Well, thank you.
We really do appreciate all you're doing for us.
Honestly, I knew you had to be up to something.
Me too.
You're not planning on coming all the way to the Highlands with us now, are you?
I think I even mentioned this last episode or the one before that I was expecting her to go to the Highlands just to keep an eye on Alyssa, and that we had to watch out where we could find her along the way. I was a little bit closer than I thought I was.
I'd love to, but unfortunately, I have some other business I must attend to. I may not be able to return to Trista for a while either. Other business?
Sharon will be assisting me with my work.
Ah, Mom.
Mother?
Never knew she would be a stutterer.
Hello, Elisa.
She does look very sophisticated.
Ah, you all must be members of Class 7.
Irina Reinford.
I'm Elisa's mother, Irina. Also the chairman of the Reinford group. It's a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is ours. I'm Rean Schwarzer.
Pleased to meet you. My name is Emma Milstein.
Gaius Warzel. Glad to make your acquaintance.
Eustace Alberea. A pleasure.
I'm glad you're all managing to get along with my obstinate daughter. I wish I could stay a while, but unfortunately I have work that can't wait. Come along, Sharon.
As you wish, Madam Chairman. What? Seriously? You show up like this and that's all you have to say? It's always work with you, isn't it? You probably didn't even notice I left home until I was already gone. Now it's just, hello, Elisa, and that's it? My lady.
I did get the impression her relationship with her mother wasn't all sunshine and gumdrops.
Seems there's a lot of friction between them.
You can live your life however you see fit. I have no intention of forcing the Rhineford group on you. Even if you decide to follow a certain someone's path and cast aside all sense of responsibility, it's your choice to make.
Is she implying that, what if you want to go with Rean, Eustace, or Gaius? I don't mind. It's your choice to make.
Besides, I still manage to keep myself informed of the general goings-on in your academic life. In the monthly reports I receive from the Academy.
What?
Yeah, I think she is. One of the directors from the Academy. It was a theory. Are we getting it confirmed now?
I knew Sharon would relay back information about me, but reports from the Academy itself?
Oh, you must not have known. In addition to my other responsibilities, I also sit on the Academy's board of directors.
Like I said, it would have been a perfect fit for her. Now the only question is, who's gonna be the third one? Because it's Rufus, Irina, and we have a third on the board of directors that we haven't seen yet, right? Or did we?
Oh my, that means...
Just like Rufus.
It does appear that way. I'd certainly deem the chairman of the Rhineford group a canny choice as a member of the board.
The Rhineford group is heavily involved in the development of the Orbital staff, as well as your Arcus.
I hadn't thought about that, but that actually makes it more sense to have her on the board of directors, because that way she can closely monitor the usage of the Arcus and both orbital staffs used by Emma and by Elliot.
I must say, I'm quite pleased with the reports I've received on your usage of both. I'm looking forward to seeing the results of this month's field study as well. Do give me some good reading, won't you?
Please excuse us, my lady. Take care during the rest of your journey. Elisa.
You alright?
Yeah. Not a great relationship, and now she just learns that she can't run from her family, because her family is monitoring every move from every angle. Yeah, and that shouldn't be too fun to hear, I'm sure. Ah, damn it. I thought I finally had her out of my hair, but it looked like she was one step ahead of me this whole time. I take it you and your mother aren't on good terms then? Yeah, I think that's much abundantly clear. Things have been rocky between us for a long time now. Once I left home, that was the first step that led me enrolling into the academy. But how was I supposed to know I'd gone and signed up for the school she sits on the board of directors of? Oh, how could I have been so stupid? Why didn't I conduct a more thorough investigation before I made my choice? Well, I don't know what to say. Well, you have our sympathies, I suppose. Is your mother being on the board of directors really such a problem? Well, it's complicated. Usually she seems like she's only interested in her work, but then she'll suddenly start meddling in my life. She says just do whatever I want, but it always turns out that wherever I go, they're ahead of me, just like today. I should have known something was up. The bank account my grandfather gave me to cover my academy expenses hasn't taken a dip since my first day at Thors. Ah, so your mother's been paying your bills the whole time. Well, it does seem like a strong possibility, especially considering her presence on the board of directors. I can't see what you're grousing about. Most people would be grateful to have a parent display that much interest. Like Juices. Yeah. Because he's been seen as the bastard of the family, so his father doesn't pay him any mind. And here she has a mother that pays her too much. You know what I see? So they're basically polar opposites when it comes to on the parent front. So like Alyssa is a bit jealous of Juices because of the lack of attention, and Juices is jealous of Alyssa for having more of that. It's a really nice contrast when you look at it. At least your mother spared the time to come and greet us. At least you showed the slightest trace of interest in you and your classmates. Oh. Juices. Forget it. Well, we just entered a tunnel. The first of many, now that we're going through the mountains. I see. Anyway, how about we dig into those lunches Sharon made for us? Oh, that sounds good to me. It seems like she went out of her way to prepare them. Alright. If these are subpar because she had to make do with the airship kitchen, I won't let her hear the end of it. Well then, let's dig in. Wow, so you're going to the Highlands for an academy field study? Sounds like you're budding soldiers to do some pretty interesting thing as part of your training these days. I suppose you could say that. Thors seems quite different from most other military academies in that regard, though. Still, feels pretty neat to see you all dressed up in your uniforms. They look pretty sharp on you. Ah, thanks for the vote of confidence. Even if at the academy, Gaius always stands out because of his height. Yeah, he towers over even the second years. Are all of the people in your settlement of the similar height? Nah, I'd say my dad is the only one who really has height on me. My younger brother fairly short, though I wouldn't doubt he has another growth spurt coming his way. Well, I seem to remember you mentioning you have quite a few siblings. A younger brother and 2 younger sisters to be exact. They're a little on the shy side, but I hope you'll get along with them. Can do. Still, if you look through the window, it really feels like we're getting close to the Highlands now. Indeed. Man, seeing you kids rushing off on some adventure kind of makes me jealous. Anyway, we're about halfway through the Isengard range now. We should reach Sendergate in 2 hours or so, so take this time to relax. Thank you. We appreciate the info. Did you meet him back in the spring when you were on your way to Trista? Yeah, made this same trip back then too. We had plenty of time to kill, so he taught me a lot about Erebonian culture. Sounds like a pretty nice guy. I bet that served as a pretty useful primer. It did. There are a lot of people I'm thankful to for helping me come this far. But most of all, I'm thankful to the winds and to the goddess. The winds and the goddess. Classic Gaius. Yeah, he's very devout. Hey, that looks like... Ah, we ought to be coming out of the last tunnel anytime now. I see. Alyssa, Juices, we're almost there. Huh? Oh. So, this is the... I can only just make it out in the distance, but it looks that's it. Ah, so that's the North Highlands. I'll admit, it appears even more breathtaking than I was expecting. I'll be even happier to hear you say so once you've seen it up close. Yeah, he's going home and he's proud of his homestead and he wants people to see it through his eyes. The beauty that is the Northern Highlands. But first, we need to go through Zendergate. Ah, you have arrived. That's him, right? That's the same guy we saw at the end of Trails in the Sky with the, well, the bout between the two armies that, of course, Olivier subdued. I can't come up with his name. It's a pleasure to see you again, Lieutenant General. Ah, likewise. It's been months since I last saw you. Seems almost surreal to see you standing there in the Military Academy uniform. Though, this is the first time I've seen the Thors emblem in red. Ah, this is the color they use for my class, Class 7. It looks like he's pretty high up in the Imperial Army. Yeah, I'm betting he's the Lieutenant General in charge of Zender Gate. He seems quite close to Gaius. An Imperial General with an eye patch. That seemed familiar somehow. I know exactly what you mean, Eustace, and I can't put my finger on that name. But I know if I hear it, yeah, that's it. Ah, these must be your classmates. Indeed, they are about half my classmates from Class 7. I'm Rean Schwarzer. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Anissa Reinford, sir. I'm Emma Milstein, sir. Eustace Elberea. It's an honor. Seems like your classmates are an interesting bunch, as I'd heard. Yes, Vander. Of course it is. I'm Zex Vander, commanding officer of the Imperial Army's 3rd Armored Division. So now I'm hoping that I've noticed that correctly, but this is the guy from that army scene at the end of Trails in the Sky, right? And of course a few others as well. Yeah, it's definitely him. The eye patch is a giveaway. Pleased to finally meet you. One-eyed Zax. Ah, so you're one of the guardians of the Arnor family. Ah, it seems some of you already know of me. A guardian of the Arnor family? Ah, now I remember. The Vanders are a celebrated military family responsible for the protection of the Imperial family. And One-Eyed Zack Vanders is said to be one of the Imperial Army's finest generals. Well, they say that Vander and the RC schools of swordsmanship are two most renowned styles in Erebonia. It's truly an honor to meet you, sir. I'm just a military man, hardly deserving of quite that level of praise. I'd love to hear about all of you and your excursion to the Highlands, but unfortunately, we don't have the time. You should get out as soon as possible if you want to reach the settlement by nightfall. I agree. Were you able to take care of all the arrangements? I did, rest assured. What arrangements? We need to head out now if we want to reach Gaius' home by sundown, right? Right, which is why I asked the Lieutenant General to arrange some transportation for us. Alright, just follow me and I'll show you the way. What kind of transportation will we get? Will we get a tank? Wouldn't mind that. Wow. Yeah, the Highlands by sunset. That has to be a beautiful sight, isn't it? It is. All wide and open. This is gonna be big, isn't it? Watchtower in the distance, a monument of some kind. It's simply breathtaking. I had no idea a land so beautiful lay at the far end of the railway. Honestly, I suppose words are woefully insufficient in the face of such majesty. Glad to hear you think so. Of course, I should have known horses. We at the Highlands where all the horses came from. Of course there's gonna be our transportation. But only 4? We are with 5. Horses? Are you saying... Yes, we're traveled to the settlement on horseback? The Highlands are way too fast to cover in any reasonable length of time on foot. You'll be fine. You're a member of the riding club and Rean and Alyssa both have riding experiences, right? Yeah, I think I can manage. I learned back at home, so I should be okay as long as we aren't making any trick jumps or anything. I'm afraid I've never ridden a horse before. Not a problem. You can just hitch a ride on the back of someone else's horse. Unless it would probably be the best choice considering the balance of weight. I can do that. Is that alright with you, Emma? Yes, although I do feel a little nervous. Let's mount up at once then. Yeah, because users cannot wait to ride. Okay, steady now. Steady. Ah, this is a fine horse. Are you okay back there, Emma? Yes, I'm fine, I think. Make sure to hold on tight when we start moving. This should be a fun trip. They're all top quality horses raised here in the Highlands. At a good clip, you should be able to reach the settlement in under an hour. Oh, and before I forget, I'm sure Gaius won't have much need of this, but the rest of you should take a map of the Highlands. A map? Ooh, this is actually pretty big. And if you know me, you know I'm gonna explore every nook and cranny. I don't know if it will be all live during an episode, but don't worry, we'll see most of it. But I definitely want to explore the entire thing of it. Okay, Stone Circle, we definitely saw that. The Watchtower, we saw that as well. And we couldn't see further ahead than the nomadic settlement because it looks like it's just around the corner. And even further back we have a colossal statue, ancient quarry and Lake Lacrima. That's a lot. We're gonna be busy here. Wow, such a high level of detail. It looks as though the army's surveying expertise is being put to good use. Indeed. I hope it will be proved useful during your field study. Oh, thank you very much, sir. Alright. That's about it from me. You should be heading out. May the blessing of the winds and the goddess be with you. Give my regards to the Elder and Lacan. We will. Thank you for seeing us off, sir. If you'll excuse us then.
This is worlds apart from the bustle of the city.
It is.
It really is. I feel like I'm one with the wind.
Indeed, but if you didn't go too fast, that would be great.
I'm sure it will feel natural in time. No doubt the riding club would be fuming with envy if they could see us now.
She would. But I know who's he referring to.
Anyway, my home settlement is due northeast of here. Hopefully we'll be able to reach it before sundown.
Right.
Let's move.
How to ride the horse. Horseback riding controls are largely the same as those for regular movement. Use the left stick to move and dash by pressing the R1 button. Yes, but there's one thing I want to check out, and I will probably do that in the next episode. That is the Zender Gate itself, and of course any location we can find. But I can already see what I mean with yeah, you need horses to traverse this place, but I'm pretty sure we can go over everything on foot as well. I do wonder if we'll be able to see enemies when we're on horseback. If there are any enemies on the Highlands, it is, but I'm assuming it is. Look at that. And that's of course the Watchtower. Yeah, it's huge as all hell. And like I was trying to say, this...
You're as excited as a child.
I think I'm just caught up in the moment.
Hey, that is not a bad thing if you go into a new location and you enjoy yourself. This will only make guys more happy. But yeah, like I was saying, the music, this scene, the way of this open fields with a little bit of technology here and there, it really gives me a little bit of Wild Arms vibes. It really does. And I mean that as a good and positive thing, definitely. And yes, in the case of some of you are wondering, at some point I will go through the entire Wild Arms series as well. But like I said, there are tons and tons of games that I want to play. and we'll get there in time. Yeah, so I guess we're not seeing any enemies because we're on horseback, or just because it's the time of day and we really should be going towards the settlement. I just want to see if I can come across a chest or something. Yes, like I said, next time we'll walk a little bit more on our horse through the entirety of the Highlands, just exploring a little bit. Maybe go to the watchtower if we're able, go to the stone monument if able, before we reach over to the settlement, just to meet with Gaius' family and of course other villagers that we might come across there. But, as you might have guessed, that will be on next time. Until then, I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are, and if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and be back next time as we go exploring on the vast lengths of the Northern Highlands. See you then. Bye bye.